Hey guys, John from Made Global here. I'm going to show you how it's done out here in Youngstown. This is how the rentals are updated, and I want to just give you a little walkthrough here. The whole idea is to do this on a budget, because the more money you put in, the less your return is going to be. And this house, it's regular Cape Cod style house, but I'll show you little improvements that have been made to it. For renters to keep them to stay. Just want to go through, like here, we've changed the countertops out, went with the Glacier White, Kohler sink, bone faucets, and obviously a 36-inch deep tub for people to wash dishes and stuff like that. Now all this stuff, if you, I'll have affiliate links below on what you can get and where you can buy it from. But you can also see the upgrades. Obviously, it's going to cost way too much money to replace the cabinets, so we reuse the old cabinets and then update the hardware and put on a modern type of handle. Also, we change out the lighting, and a lot of times this doesn't come to where it would actually match in the house. Actually paint the inside copper, and the whole house is actually LED lighting to keep the tenants' bills low, and that's the whole idea. If they get a huge bill, you're not going to get your rent. So throughout most of the rest of the house is we went with a Glidden paint. It's Sutton Place is the color. Gray. It's a gray, Sutton Place gray, and you'll see there's certain things that we did to make this easy. The grills, like if you were to replace all the grills in the home, it would cost you a few $100s. So in the meantime, we can go ahead and go with the metal colored hammered paint from Rust-Oleum. Typically we just go with the regular mini blind. And this house, we're fortunate, it had vinyl windows all throughout the house, so that also helps save. But when we're doing it, obviously everything is caulked, sealed tight. There's probably 100 tubes of caulk in this house. And typically, ceiling color, you want to go with the flat white. It just looks clean, and you don't see the imperfections in the ceiling if there are any. And we go with this style light with 2 bulbs, because if one burns out, the tenant still has lighting in it. So they're not, even though they're supposed to last 20-some years, not always they do. Even all the switches, outlets, plugs have been changed, new GFIs. So these do go bad, and they're very cheap. Obviously you can see here the appliances. There was no microwave, so to give them some space saver room, we got a microwave. The appliances came with it. Yes, they mismatched, but in time they will be replaced out, and they'll match. So also on our homes, I don't know if you can see that it's a Honeywell, it's a light switch, and that actually operates, it's programmed to turn on and off the lights outside. There's no photocell to go bad. It just makes it easy. Thing is about that, you've got to have a common wire in order to make that work. And I don't know if you can see this. This is just an on and off switch, and it's programmed similar to a thermostat. And I don't know if you can point that outside. You can see that it just operates indoor lighting and outside lighting. So another thing, while I'm over here, I want to show this door. I'm actually putting curb strips around it. So rather than spending the big money on doors, well, actually this curb strip is a nice seal, and actually you can replace it. That's an MD weather stripping. You get it at Menards. So obviously when you go through a house, everything has to work perfectly. And at the bottom of the door, these doors were sliced a little bit shorter in order to put basically a weather stripping at the bottom. So it'll seal up nicely. So in this house, all the handles went nickel. We went with nickel in color, but these are solid wood doors. You hate to get rid of them because they're so nice. The flooring in here, the Glacier White, is just your typical flooring, and because the old flooring was terrible looking, it was just an ugly color. We had to go and put a new floor in and just go over top. It's a vinyl flooring. So we go through obviously these handles. I'll have a link to that where we got those online. But this is a Black Fox Sherwin-Williams paint. That's in a semi-gloss that we put on the door. I'm sorry, satin that we put on the doors. And obviously smoke detectors throughout the house. We get them in multi-packs. They're a lot cheaper by doing that. And I'll bring you into the living room here. So all the flooring outside of the kitchen and bath is a luxury vinyl plank. It's an MSI. And
Woodland Ashen Estates.
It's Woodland Ashen Estates.
You'll put a link in.
Yeah, I'll put a link in. So I laid it through without transitions to where the floor is, so you don't have a trip hazard. Obviously, sometimes you have to put a transition in.
Different flooring.
Yeah, when you go from one floor to another. So, I know a lot of people try to shortcut it, but you want to cut out your corners in order to get it to fit right. So even closets, you go with the satin color. It's basically satin white, same as a trim paint, because it's a little more durable and you can actually wash it better. Now the walls, the Sutton Place gray on the walls are actually flat. It hides a lot of the problems. And obviously for a tenant, it's nice to have a nice storm door. So we put this is actually, this one on here is low E because it's a south-facing door and actually get too hot for the door. So by putting the low E, it allows that heat to stay out of the area inside there. There's another purchased online, very inexpensive. It's a crackled glass, and any chance I get, I like to put a hanging light. It's just my preference. And that actually came in green, and it was spray painted a satin black in order to match the outside fixtures. So as we go through, obviously you can see there's another Honeywell. This is in the front. We turn the light on and off. And that's all automatic.
Comes on automatic.
Yeah, so it's however you wish to program it where you live. What I found the cheapest is having vertical blinds on the front window in these homes. Very cheap. And if they break, you can always purchase another one and go from there. But as you can see, the vents are all been reused in this house. A lot of times it's really expensive to actually replace these out and go with new ones. And by spraying them white, it looks terrible. So we found that going with that
Rust-Oleum hammered.
yeah, Rust-Oleum hammered paint, it actually looks really good and gives a nice contrast. And obviously mini blinds throughout the house. You go through the hallway here, we got a Honeywell. This is, I believe it's a T100 stat. It's actually, it's on Wi-Fi, so you can control it with your phone, and it has geofencing. So if you actually, you can set the radius around your home through a map, and you can have it dial back or come up to temperature when you get close to your house. So it's a real nice feature. As you can see the rest of the place, we've got all the doors have been painted, closets have been done. And then, you hate to paint stain trim, but sometimes it looks too old. But in the closets, they work beautiful. This is You know, we know we don't have to paint that in the future. Sure, it will get nicked up, but for tenants, it looks
You have the seamless.
really nice.
Cut out all the door jambs.
Yeah, all the jams have been cut. And even in the bedrooms, same thing, outlets, lights, similar, vinyl windows. Even the heating system has been sealed with silicone around the ductwork in the basement in order to put that heated air up in the house and keep the bills low. So, it's another bedroom here, it's similar in appearance.
All seamless.
Yeah, no transitions. So blinds and everything, they're actually, you know, really cheap to replace if they do go bad or the tenant has a dog or something like that. So the bathroom. This bathroom was horrendous when we got it, but we actually put Glidden Sutton Place, but it's actually in a satin, and then we also added a mold inhibitor, so there won't be mold in here. So lighting, these were purchased at Lowe's, so inexpensive lighting, LED also. Cabinet here, medicine cabinet, purchased at Menards, very cheap, something like 30 bucks or something like that for that. And then obviously here we added a GFI, it's code, there was no outlet in this, and kept the same tub surround added, put a water pick, rain shower head on there, which is 2.5 gallons a minute. And you can see this had the 3 handles for the water fixture. Always go with the Moen, single handle Adler, which is done us well. And also did the tub surround here. So when the tub surround, it just, you know, it's terrible having a window. And what we did is, so nobody can, there's a window film that you can purchase at Home Depot. I'll have a link on that, to where people can't see what's going on the inside. And then the trim is actually in PVC trim, no nails. It's actually caulked in place, so you're not going to have any issues with
Water on wood.
yeah, water issues with that. And also we like to put these shower curtain rods that are curved. It makes it larger when you're in the tub. It gives you where the shower is, curtain's not touching you while you're taking a shower, so it's really nice to have. So if we keep going to the house, we'll go upstairs in this place. So this is pretty much all been just repainted, new outlets, cleaned up. All new switches, or these lights that are in here have been changed. And typically what happens is, it's really hot up here, so I cut in soffit vents and insulated. So we actually have air that moves through the attic now. And to save my money, I like to use a foam on the door, but put our 30 in there. Now, we got less than $500 in insulation, and it actually, the house will cool now in the summer, where before it wouldn't even bring it down a degree or two. So the air conditioner would barely keep up now. House gets real cold in the summer, stays warm in the winter. And obviously, we had weather stripping. Well, this is actually, it's a fibery type. It seals the door, so it's not drafting in the house also. And obviously, the door has had locks installed. So, vinyl windows, new outlets, the same. Even the hammer paint looks great in this style room where they were dirty and nasty looking. You don't really have to replace them, you just paint them. So a can of paint will do four to six vents. You can spray a couple coats on it, clean them up with a wire wheel. Very simple, clean, easy for the tenants. Try to make the maintenance as low as possible. So, you're in the outside. In the garage, we try to put a Honeywell barn light. And it lights up the whole backyard. That one's actually on a photocell. So for security purposes, they want to see what's going on with their garage. They can see at night. It's very cheap to run, a couple dollars a month. Obviously we went with satin here. And this is Ohio. Basements are the best, but this house is fairly dry. Obviously they had issues with water in the furnace on the floor, but give you some idea. Here, you got glass block, helps out big time. All the vents have been sealed, silicone, tape. We even have insulation above the sill plate. I don't know if you can see this. Actually, there's an R1 behind that. If you can see it. I'll try over here. A little short. An R1 siliconed around with clear to prevent moisture buildup, and then R30. So the idea is you don't want that moisture to get on the insulation. 90 plus furnace, AC. Obviously, hot water tank just replaced. So bills are actually fairly cheap here. And we also provide the hookups. Now gas is really cheap here, so we've got a washer dryer hookup for the tenants. Obviously another shower if they want to use it. But for the most part, it's just a quick overview on how it's done out here. Yeah, there was a toilet and a shower, but we removed that, or toilet here that's been removed and plugged. But in the future, if we ever wanted to put it back in, we could. It's less to worry about as a landlord, for a landlord to take care of the property. But all in all, a lot of times in the basements, typically we'd use the what's that called?
Dry lock.
Dry lock. And dry lock the entire basement. This one in time, eventually we'll dry lock it and paint the floors.
This was a green, so we just
it
went
was
over
green.
it.
It was more for aesthetics that we painted that. Yeah, there's a little bar for the tenants if they want to use it. But all in all, it's been a pretty good rental. Always put in a garage door opener with the keypad for the tenants, and just those little things help them out. And they like to basically hop in their car and drive away, and there's nothing to worry about. And that's the whole key with these rentals, is they like them clean, and they're willing to pay much more than what going rate is. Just having the small amenities of garage door openers and microwaves and stuff like that. But yeah, all in all, basically tell me what you guys think. Any comments, questions, or is there something you see in here where you're looking to purchase? hit me up, hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you.